What it do? Third Hall MMA. I'm your host, back at it with another video for you guys today on this beautiful Friday. Well, Friday night at 9:45 p.m. What I got for you guys today is just we're just gonna look ahead at the start of the Paramount era for the UFC. We're gonna go through all these cards here, well, up until the Holloway Oliveira 2 one. Just discuss what the UFC's doing. Do I like the cards? Do I like the fights they're putting on? What does this mean? Hold on. Maybe I can stretch out the bandy cam a bit. Yeah, I got the locations of them in there, as you can see. First one is Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett for the interim title. Kind of stupid. At T-Mobile Arena in what, fucking 6 weeks? Cool. They got Volk versus Lopez too. I just watched Lucas Tracy's MMA Awards video, and he made a whole award called the Most Disrespected Fighter of the Year award just to talk about how Volk versus Lopez 2 is a stupid matchup, and it is, but not really, but it kind of is. But we'll break down the cards, and we're going to see what does the Paramount deal look like, what's new with it, do we like where this is going, do we not? So let's get into it. Oh, I fucking moved the Bandicam back. So let me review the first card. So this is UFC 324, Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Main eventing for the hold up, for the UFC interim lightweight title. So yes, Justin Gaethje did it. He cried about not getting a title shot, even though he's only on a one-fight win streak, and he gets a title shot. Makes zero sense. Paddy Pimblett also getting a title shot off of beating Michael Chandler makes zero sense as well. I guess Oliveira did, but that's a little bit different of a situation because the champ vacated a belt. They're just putting this as a title fight so that they can, I guess, just have it as a main event to get more people to watch, which makes sense from a business perspective, but yeah, whoever wins this fight is going to be fighting Ilia Topuria next for the lightweight title, which, I mean, I don't know why they saved this shit until now. They could have done Gaethje versus Pimblett in August or something. This was the matchup that everyone's been talking about doing since fucking, dude, since March. We've been talking about this shit since March or June, whatever. And now it's only happening in January, and the only reason this is happening too is because the UFC was trying to do Paddy versus Topuria, but Ilya, is going. He's got divorce court to do. So once he's done with divorce court, he can come back and actually fight. But yeah, first of all, this is a sick fight. It's a sick matchup. It's gonna be a great fight. Um, I don't know who I'm gonna pick. I think Paddy Pimblett should win because Gaethje has zero jiu-jitsu, but there is also a world where Gaethje cracks Paddy on the chin and knocks him out. But it being a 5 rounder, I think also, I mean, I don't know who it benefits more. So I don't know who I'm going to pick in this fight. I'll probably pick Paddy because I never pick Gaethje to win any fight. But yeah, sick matchup. Pretty much just a number one contenders fight. I know they attached the title to it, but don't pay attention to that. They're just, putting these out there so that they can, because I think it's written into the contracts that, or the Paramount deal, that they have to have title fights in main events for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, sick fight, cool matchup. Is it stupid that Justin Gaethje cried and complained about a title shot and still got one? Yeah. Should it be Max Holloway for a number one contenders fight? Should it be Max Holloway versus Paddy Pimblett and then Arman versus Ilya? Already, yes, but Arman literally ruined UFC 311, and then didn't fight until November and rejected a Gamrot fight. So this is what he gets, bro. I don't know who he's gonna fight next. Maybe the loser of this hill fight. So yeah. But yeah, then we got Amanda Nunes, Kayla Harrison. I mean, if you want to sell a women's MMA fight, this is the one you're gonna sell. Paramount probably pulled out the Brinks truck to pull Nunes out of retirement for this one. She's probably getting paid like $1 million for this, which is crazy because I honestly don't fucking care at all. So, good for Amanda Nunes. She's gonna get some bread to come out of retirement and do this. And Kayla Harrison gets her chance to fight Nunes, so that's pretty cool. I'll be rooting for Kayla Harrison though. And then we got Sean O'Malley is back, bro, versus Song Yadong. This is a great fight, dude. O'Malley's back. Sean was kind of when on his podcast when MMA Guru was pressing him about matchups he was gonna have. He was kind of being sneaky about it. He wasn't saying much, but yeah, they did end up having this fight done, but they were just saving it for the Paramount opener, and they're gonna have this as the feature fight. Great striking matchup, and if Song Yadong wins this, I think he will probably maybe he'll need one more because he'd only be on a 2-fight win streak. So they might do Song Yadong versus Umar if he wins this, who's also on this card. And if O'Malley wins, they might rush him into a title fight, but I don't think they should do that. But yeah, O'Malley's back. Love to see it. Um, I thought he was having hip labrum surgery after the Marab fight. I guess he did, and then came back and fought Marab again. So I think his hip should be fully healed, and we should have a fully healthy O'Malley back in here. And Song Yadong, this is a great opportunity to, make a name for yourself and introduce yourself to the, casual audience, because the casuals are gonna. This is a card for the casuals, right? So, this is a really important card for the casuals to tune into. And then I like what they're doing, having this and then having a Volk versus Lopez too. Well, I don't like that they're having Volk versus Lopez too, but I like that they're having another numbered event the week after this to get the casuals to tune into a numbered event, see what another title fight is like. So I understand what they're doing here. My bad. Still a little bit sick from yesterday, but yeah, love this card. Also got Waldo versus Derek Lewis. I mean, this is a banger matchup. Either Derek is going to fluke another right hand and chin Waldo, or Waldo is going to piece up Derek Lewis and end up getting a title shot and calling out Tom Aspinall, which is fire. Unless we run back Aspinall versus Gon, but I think Tom's eye is really injured. I didn't really look into how injured Tom's eye is, so I don't know about that. Maybe we get an Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gon interim title in the main time or something, but yeah. We got this. Should be a guaranteed knockout. And Derek Lewis is promotable if he wins. And Waldo, if he beats Derek Lewis, people know who Derek Lewis is. So there's that. And then obviously Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. Arnold Allen said he was going to move to lightweight, but they probably paid him a lot to stay here and fight Gene Silva. And Gene Silva's very promotable. Get what they're doing here, because if Gene Silva wins, that's Diego Lopez's last win. And if he flukes a win over Volk, they're going to say Diego Lopez is the greatest thing of all time, even though Volk already beat him. But, they don't show that because they don't want the casual fans to know how good. Like, they're purposely not promoting Volk, so I hope Volk wins to screw over the UFC. So, and Volk's my favorite fighter. But, yeah, the UFC knows what they're doing with this shit. Where is Aljamain Sterling? This guy never fucking fights. Where's Lerone Murphy? He just sits on Twitter complaining instead of actually calling the UFC and trying to get all right, I don't want to complain about the featherweights, but let's go through the card. Natalia Silva Rose, Namajunas, solid women's, actually like a decent women's fight. Umar versus Figgy. solid fight. You got Gautier, you got MJ, you got Modestus, Alex Perez. Yeah, hey, Charles Johnson, man, knocked out Josh Van. People sleeping on Charles Johnson. These young cats don't want the smoke anymore. Denzel Freeman, Josh Hoka, underrated heavyweight prospect fight, and then complete garbage fight. But yeah, UFC 324 is, I think, gonna be a really good card. It's a really good card on paper. Shout out Anthony Smith, and it should be a good start to the Paramount era. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it, even though I don't like that Gaethje gets a title shot. Gaethje versus Pimblett, just as a number one contenders fight, I'm not really that pissed about. I'm more pissed that Ilia Topuria hasn't fought in forever and he never fucking fights. But let's get onto this. What the fuck do I even need to say? This is supposed to be Volkanovski's retirement fight, but Volk says he's not retiring now, which is awesome. So they're not promoting Volk at all. They're just promoting Diego Lopez, and they hope that Diego Lopez can just fluke a win over Volk, even though Volk took him to school last year. So it's going to be on us, the hardcore MMA fans, to let everybody know that Volk took Diego to school last year and that Volk is actually him and that he's a top 5 fighter of all time and that he's the truth. But anyway, it's they're not even like promoting it as like it's Volk in his backyard. You know what I mean? Like they're saying, "Oh no, this is just like it's such bullshit." Like it's not even good promo. It's like it's dude, it's gay promo. It's the gayest promotion ever. You know, like Lopez is gonna walk out and Anek's gonna be like, Lopez's second time to right the wrong from the first fight. Like, it's so fucking stupid. Like, how do you even fucking sell this? You should be doing Volkanovski versus Evloev, but I get it, dude. Like, Evloev never fucking fights, bro. And Lerone Murphy only beat Aaron Pico. Who the fuck cares about Aaron Pico? He's trash. He's a Bellator fighter, right? So it does in a way this fight does make sense because Evloev didn't even fight at all last year, right? Like I know he beat Aljamain Sterling, but dude, you didn't fight at all last year. You don't get a title shot for never fighting. And Lerone Murphy only beat a Bellator fighter and Josh Emmett and Dan Ige. So, you know, I think they are going to run Lerone Murphy versus Evloev. So whoever wins that should get the fight against Volk next once he takes Lopez to school again. So I guess it does make sense a little bit to make this, but also the UFC does want this because they just want somebody to go in here and sleep Volk, which is dumb, but you know, that's what they want to do. They want someone to go in here, they want him to go in here and just chin Volk. But honestly, dude, I think Volk's going to take him to school again. Lopez was getting hit by Gene Silva a lot. His footwork didn't look to be that much improved from the first fight with Volk when he fought Gene Silva, and Volk was coming off a long layoff when they fought. And I just hate that they kept Volk on the shelf for this too. That's another thing. They just fucking kept him on the shelf. Like he was trying to stay active. He was saying that he wants a fight in September after he fought in March, and he didn't get any fucking fights, which is stupid. So whatever. So yeah, he shouldn't fucking retire. He should be pissed off, and he should take Lopez to school again. He'll probably use his jab more effectively this time. He'll probably use more low kicks this time, and I think he's just gonna end up piecing up Lopez again. Because I don't see what Lopez is gonna do to like. Because it doesn't look like he improved that much against in the Gene Silva fight. Like I'm sorry, you know what I mean? But and Volk is gonna do better, and he's gonna be less ring rusted in this one, and he's gonna know what to look for. He's gonna know not to back up and get dropped in a straight line. So yeah, I think Volk's gonna put on another schooling in this one, and I hope that he fucking does. But then we got the comeback, the Benoit Saint Denis Dan Hooker. This is a great fight. It's a cool co-main event to put on this card. UFC rewarding Dan for taking a fight against Armin, which is cool. And Benoit Saint Denis is on a run. We will be hoping to sleep Dan Hooker in the first round, but now this is actually going to be a really good fight. Honestly, I think Dan would win. I think Dan should win this, but I don't know about that yet. I didn't pick it yet. Rufy somehow gets Fiziev, who is a ranked fighter, after losing to Benoit. Um, Makes no sense. But, Rufy is an exciting striker. Rafael Fiziev is an exciting Muay Thai fighter. So, it is what it is. Rufy versus Fiziev. Honestly, I think Fiziev will win, but I don't know. Rufy's kind of powerful with the hands. Tuivasa is back against Taliesin Teixeira. He's no longer 450 pounds. He can make weight. Congratulations to Tai Tuivasa on the weight loss. My fucking Jimmy Crew versus Dustin Jacoby. I don't know what to say. It's just a typical Australian card, and we got Quillen Salkild versus Rongju. Quillen should be getting a ranked opponent, but whatever. He's young, and they still need to build him up as a prospect, so I get it. And then when the Taffa Bros are back, oh no, Cam Rouston. Oh my God, Torres Finney. I hope he loses. Jacob Malkoon. This is actually a bad matchup for Torres Finney, so he might get vanquished, which is good because we fucking hate Torres Finney. Torres Finney, respond to my DMs on Instagram. You're bitching out. You don't want the smoke with me. Michaela versus Oban Elliott. Con Ofley. I think this is the road to UFC tournament, so yeah, it is a typical Australia card, but they are putting actually some good fights on it, so I'm not gonna hate. Uh, I'm gonna hate that Lopez gets another title shot against Volk, but who else would you put against him, right? So it is what it is. I'm not gonna complain too much. If Volk loses, I will be complaining though. So yeah, so far to start the year, things are looking good for Paramount. Things should start off well for Paramount. People should get excited, get hyped up, and then back to the Apex. Yeah. I mean, what are we still? What the fuck, bro? I mean, I like that the Apex cards are starting at 5 p.m. now. That's cool, right? I don't have to stay up till midnight watching an Apex card. But who the fuck? Why did Paramount do this? Like, they should have paid them to get rid of the Apex. They should have put in the contract X amount of money to demolish the Apex, and then give it to the UFC as a bonus, right? Um, I don't know why we're back in the Apex. I thought we were past it. It's not fucking COVID, but it is what it is. And nobody's even on this card anyway. What the fuck? But Houston Fight Night. Fluffy versus Sean Strickland. This is a great main event for a fight night. People are going to be tuning in. People love Sean Strickland. It's a great opportunity for Fluffy Hernandez to show the people what he's got because he's a dog and he's the best cardio in the sport. So, besides Marab, maybe not though. Honestly, yeah, Fluffy might have the best cardio in the sport besides Marab, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a toss up. Who the fuck cares? But this is just a great matchup, right? And then I like this because if Sean can defend the wrestling of Fluffy, then okay, there's a reason to believe that he can beat Hamza, even though he probably can't. And if Fluffy can fuck Sean up in the wrestling, okay, Fluffy has the wrestling and the pace. Maybe he could put the pace on Hamza, gas him out, end up getting a win, right? Honestly, I probably think Hamza would submit Fluffy in round two, but this is a great main event because either way it plays out, it builds the guy who won as having a chance to beat Hamza, which is good. Because, I mean, Jesus Christ, if Hamza is just unbeatable, then, the sport's cooked. Because he never fucking fights. We got whoever the fuck this is. I think there's more fights on here. Let me go on Tapology. Let's check. I can't believe we're doing this mid video. Oh. Um. Like, does the UFC not even have all their shit? Is there more fights on here? Yeah, there's literally more fights on here. Okay. So this is what the card looks like. Jacoby Smith, Suk Hyunko, underrated fight. Get that shit out of here. I think we'll just thug it out on Tapology for the next 10 minutes or so. I'm going to rant. But yeah, I like what the UFC's doing so far with the Paramount deal. What I don't like, what this could lead to, though, is Paramount forcing the UFC's hand into not making the best versus the best, which, you know, isn't what the sport is built on originally. So I don't really like that, but, you know, the fights are bangers. We'll see how it plays out. What else we got? Oh, fuck. What the fuck is UDC, bro? And then we did get announced Brandon Moreno's back already after getting his ass beat by Tyra last week against Asua Mabayev in a main event of the Mexican Fight Night card. That's actually a pretty cool matchup. Emmanuel Rodriguez getting the Contender Series guys involved. I like that. This guy, watch out. Really good prospect. Crispy boxing. Kevin Borjas better watch it. Or that. I'm not going to make any racist jokes about what Kevin Borjas looks like, but Damian Penis versus Wes Schultz, two Contender Series alumni, going at it. The return of the GOAT, Jose Medina. I mean, come on, guys. Let's go back. Dude, I gotta fucking click through this because the UFC doesn't put their own shit on their fucking page. $7 billion they got. And I'm on a different site to show you what UFC fights there are. Crazy. But then we got this. Okay, let's talk about UFC 323. Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. Charles beat Gamrot, called out Max Holloway for the BMF belt. I like that. And I like that it's a title fight. So Charles, smart businessman with this call out as well. He's going to be getting paid at least $1 million if he wins. So, you know, maybe Money Moik is teaching him something down there in Brazil. I don't know, but this is great business from Charles. And for Max, I mean, dude, you got to fight. You have to fight someone in the meantime. You can't, even though you did knock out Justin Gaethje and he's getting a title shot instead of you, you're going to have to wait, brother. It is what it is, brother. But, yeah, we got Money Moik versus Ortega. Ooh. But we don't know. But, yeah, this is shaping up to be a really solid card. I hope they stack this card. Because always the BMF fights cards should always be stacked, and this is a sick fight to have. I don't even know who's gonna win. Honestly, I think Charles might submit him, but you know, I mean, we got 4 months until we're there, so I don't know. But you know, Paramount, you know, their UFC Paramount era is starting off pretty hot. Got some bangers, and I know bangers, so you know when I tell you that, you know it's true. And it's shaping up to be a good year for the UFC in 2026. Already, the first quarter of the year is probably. I mean, first quarter of the year last year was pretty good though. Besides 313, that was kind of a bummer. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you loving the Paramount deal? Are you hating the fights that are getting announced with the Paramount deal? Because I mean, these types of matchups the UFC would never fucking put on, right? Like Charles versus Max, like without Paramount, we wouldn't have fucking got this. You guys know that, right? So, But I'm a little bit conflicted on the Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez 2 thing. But, maybe Paramount just wants to, like, start off the era hot. You know what I mean? Just to get the people going and involved in UFC and get some new casuals into the sport. So, there's that. But yeah, we got the last card tomorrow, so I'll post my reaction. I'll probably post my reaction video for the Apex card tomorrow on Sunday. I'm gonna have to post. I'm gonna have to post some end of the year content as well. I know Lucas did his MMA awards already. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing a full MMA awards show. I might. Uh, but I do want to like. I want to do like a huge video where I go over like my top 50 fights of the year or something, right? So, and then I'll do like a top 10 worst fights of the year, but like not leave, leave the number one spot blank and then put it in my awards show or some shit. I don't know. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to structure my award show, but I definitely want to do a top 50 fights of the year video though. So, maybe I'll like have like my top 10 in no particular order and then we'll count it down in the award show video and then I'll give you guys my fight of the year. Maybe that's how we'll do it in my award show. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, peace.